One more time on the merry-go-round with Liechtenstein as we prepare for our second ever World Cup. And if you're watching this as a premiere, stick around because if we make the final, we're going to do that as a live stream. And even if we don't make the final, we're going to do a kind of series wrap-up as a live stream anyway. For this tournament, we've had the luxury of being able to name a fully fit squad, including the likes of our original youth project, Lorenz Krauss, coming off the back of one of his best seasons at club level for years. Fabio Burmester, also from our original youth intake, and still tearing it up at Vaduz. And this time we can complete the trio OG youth talent with Tony Block fully fit. Elite level fullback Andreas Corner is here as captain, and despite my coaches constantly saying he's no longer operating at international level, we have Pascal Olner. Partnering him in midfield will be Uwe Wolf, now at Atalanta, after a January transfer. We have Nicholas Henze in goal, now an established Premier League keeper at Wolves, with interest from Chelsea. Also selected this time after missing previous tournaments with injury is fan favourite Yannick Goop. Then we have our new generation. Tizian Botsenhart now at Watford, and with an impressive 57 caps, aged just 22. And also, let's not forget it was Botsenhart's spot kick that turned the tide in the Finalissima shootout. The enigmatic but completely erratic Luka Franska, please don't do anything stupid in a big match this time. Sasha Fritsch, who played in our Euros final victory, aged just 17, now 2 years wiser and playing for Nottingham Forest. Plus a new arrival at FC Vaduz since I left, Jonas Rosenthal, who scored on his debut in our warm-up friendly against Syria, which neatly segues into our World Cup preparations. We are unbeaten so far in 2038 and yet to concede a goal. In fact, our current unbeaten run goes back 2 years to the group stage of the Euros when we lost to Spain. Here is the World Cup group stage draw in full. How far do you think we can go? Leave a prediction in the chat if you're watching this as a premiere, in the comments if you're watching this later. This being the 3-team group version of the 48-team World Cup we watched on as Ivory Coast beat Lebanon in the opening game of Group P, which meant a win in our opening game against Ivory Coast would virtually guarantee our passage to the knockouts. After Uwe Wolf's first half opener, our cause was helped by Anderson Koulibaly sending off for a second bookable offence. With 5 minutes to go, Lorenz Krauss added to his 2 goals from the previous World Cup. In fact, he doubled his tally with 2 in the space of 3 minutes, with substitute Fabian Schreck then nabbing a 4th in stoppage time. A late surge perhaps, but we won emphatically. In that game, Lorenz Krauss overtook Peter Yele as the most capped Liechtensteiner player ever. Could this be his tournament? Might we be seeing him play in a World Cup final on a live stream shortly? Stick around to find out. As only a point was needed for top spot, we rested Krauss for the Lebanon game. After Corner's opener, Botsenhart made it 2 from the spot. It was the 2 goal scorers who combined to set up Hans Brahma for number 3. Indeed, the Marseille winger would go on to score twice in 4 minutes. And then centre-back Hartmann made it 5. Another emphatic win for an easy table-topping performance. That set up a tie with Group O runners-up Turkey. It was a tense game with few chances. Turkey didn't threaten much, but when Botsenhart gifted them with this chance, our hearts were in our mouths, but we survived. And just as it seemed extra time was looming, up popped young defender Fabian Kranz. What a time to score your first international goal. Next up, a big tournament clash with England once again. The team we famously beat in the Euro semi-final on penalties. Can we pull off another win, or does the story end here? Whatever happens, there will be a live stream after this to wrap up the save, so make sure you stay tuned for that. This was another tense game, with chances few and far between, and more than a bit of luck helping us out. A pivotal moment came right at the end of normal time as Richard Trafford got into a sticky situation with Goop, giving us a man advantage for extra time, with Goop supplying a cross that caused panic in the English box, Fabian Schreck capitalising. Into the quarterfinals we go then, and a match with Ireland. Ooh, and by the way, as Krauss was on the bench for the England game, Fabio Burmester stole his record as Liechtenstein's most capped player. In the first half of the quarterfinal, he celebrated by opening the scoring, but despite dominating large parts of the game, we failed to capitalise on our chances. and were punished as Omar Bamidele scored an equaliser, becoming the first person to score against us since Marko Molkan for Slovakia 8 months ago. That goal would ultimately send the tie to penalties, young Kranz bravely stepping up first, and Axel Blinden making it 2-1. Hens then gave us the advantage with a great save, and Fabian Schreck wasted it. Bring back Lorenz Krauss. Ireland then levelled the scores again. Luka Franska held his nerve for once, as did Baxter for the Irish. Our fifth and final penalty then, Uwe Wolf howling at the moon. All the pressure then on Sean Connolly, who channeled his inner Robbie Keane, and we were into the semi-finals to face Belgium. So there will be a live stream directly after this premiere, but will it be the World Cup final, or will it be an anticlimactic third place playoff? A narrow escape in the first couple of minutes as the Belgians ran at our defence, Henze alert enough to push the effort onto the post, and his goalkeeping services were needed again from the resulting corner. Lorenz Krauss was back in the starting lineup for this one, but it would be Fabio Burmester who opened the scoring, being credited with the goal despite a wicked deflection. Wolf then went close, hitting his free kick off the wall and the post, and that was pretty much it, folks, as Belgium struggled to create anything of note in the second half, and we are into the World Cup final. But who are we up against? Well, that would be Spain, who came through the other side of the draw, knocking out Tunisia, Australia, the Netherlands and Chile. Yes, Spain. Not only the last team to beat us at the Euros, but also the team who knocked us out of our first World Cup in an absolutely epic game. So fingers crossed this actually works, but let's see if YouTube's promised feature of live redirect does the trick. If not, check the pinned comment and the chat for a direct link to the live stream page. I'll see you for the big one.